So, welcome to the April 21 introductions for Department 56 Village. Like I said, I'm sorry I can't be there. My daughter got married last night, and this was kind of a crazy weekend for me. But let's get started, because I know Stefan is waiting to do his class as soon as I'm done.
Take your time.
So, like I told you in January, we did not launch any Christmas Disney Village because we had the big launch of Pumpkin Town. So now it's time for some Christmas pieces. So we have the Minnie's Dance Academy, and they are going to be performing the Nutcracker. And it would be just perfect to have Minnie out in front in her ballet outfit with her nice red bow on top of her head. I think this is so cute. Just love it. All right, next. Oh gosh, how do I dance? There we go. So next for Disney Village, we did the Mickey Mouse ear hat shop. And you know, when we would all go to get our Mickey ears, we would get our names embroidered on the back. So if you look down in the corner, you can see the word Santa, and it's in the same kind of stitching. If you went to the Mad Hatter shop to get a hat, that your hat would be embroidered. Lots of fun details on this. It's got the cute little Mickey sign hanging off the side. The door is really fun. There's little ears, hat sitting out on a little hat rack, and then you've got Mickey's Finishing Touch, which is the accessory. And the name on that hat is Billy. For our Snow Village Halloween, we did the 2021 annual Rest in Peace Crypt. Again, it's a lighted piece with a lighted lantern and a lighted pumpkin down in front. And then the Guardian of Darkness is the accessory that coordinates. For those of you that started the food truck series, we will be doing a third one. It's just not going to be launched until January of next year. Ghostbusters! So I'm sure you've seen and heard about this. Melinda did a Facebook Live on Thursday and launched all the pieces. It's very, very exciting for us to have this great license. The pieces will be resin. They will fit into Snow Village Halloween. They also would fit into Christmas in the City. But they are made of resin just because we can get that really, really good detail on them. So I'm going to advance to the next slide, which shows you the initial collection. So basically, you would have the building of the fire station where most everything goes on. You have the Ecto-1 car. You have Slimer, which is a lit accessory. And then you have Dr. Egan Spengler, who was played by Harold Ramis. And you have Peter Venkman, who was played by Bill Murray. We are going to add to this collection because we are missing the other two characters, which we will do in the next launch. But what do you think of Ghostbusters?
That's cool. Good.
That's cool.
It's good. It's really good. All right, so here's the next slide. I don't have a slide of the accessories, but I do have the slide that shows the firehouse and the Ecto-1 car. This will start shipping in mid-August. There's going to be a sequel to Ghostbusters coming out in June. The trailer is online. You can just Google it. It's called The Aftermath, and basically it's just a continuation of the story, but with their kids. Okay. Here's another really, really good glamour shot. Shows everything really well. Okay, Harry Potter. Harry Potter has one new piece coming out this fall. It should be shipping in October. And it is the Quality Quidditch supplies. And the accessory is the Lively Bludger. Now, Stefan, did you see this one in person?
I did not. I didn't have it yet.
Did not. Okay. So some of these things we had ready for the Vegas show that just took place, and some we didn't. So if you saw one in person, feel free to chime in.
Okay.
But I think this is quite fun, and this collection is just continuing to grow, and I know Paul's got some really exciting things ready to come out next year. All right, for the Munsters, we have a new Herman called the Punk Rod, and then we have his new car, Dragula. So here is the other license that was just launched, this last week, and it's the Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones is a 10-year series. They are showing it on HBO Max. And I personally have not watched it, so I'm trying to educate myself on these pieces. But what I will say is when Melinda showed the actual pieces on her live on Thursday, I had a lot of retailers calling me wanting to increase their orders because the pieces are just stunning in person. I have a lot of watermark slides, which means the art is not final, but you can get a good idea. And what I will say is the accessories, the people might be sized, pretty similar to our other things, but it's the base and what goes on the accessories that's really large. And I know Stefan got to see some of these, so like I said, feel free to chime in. Mm-hmm. There's initially 2 buildings. They are facades because there is some information about each piece listed down the back, like we've done on our, ballparks and stuff. But they are significantly, larger, and the depth of them is decent. So it really doesn't matter that maybe they aren't full all the way around because they would look really great on a bookcase.
Yeah, and this piece was in Vegas, and the snow is actually covering a lot of details there, but it's super detailed. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's like really, really nice. I think you're going to like it.
It's a glamorous shot of Drogon, and Drogon is one of 3 dragons in the Game of Thrones. And again, Stefan, was this there?
That one was there, yep, just the one.
So show them with your hands how big this is, because it is considerably larger than you.
It's about this size. It's a nice, big accessories. And by the way, according to experts, this dragon in real life would be too heavy to fly. So, that's true, but heavier than a dinosaur kind of thing.
So here's just some information on Game of Thrones, because if you haven't watched it or only know it by name or know that it ended over a year ago and everybody was so upset how it ended, which is pretty much all I know about it, we'll just kind of go through these bullet points. The target consumer on this is adult males primarily, but females are interested in it too, so 18 and over. It was watched by 46 million viewers in the U.S. plus hundreds of millions worldwide. And that's pretty significant. The Iron Anniversary is, oh my goodness, it's today, April 17th, 10 years after the first episode aired. The licensor sees a potential to celebrate this milestone with Game of Thrones fans around the world all year long. So that's kind of why this is exciting that we're launching it right now. All 8 seasons are streaming on HBO Max, and Game of Thrones is headed to Broadway. The first show is expected to launch in 2023 with debuts in New York City, London's West End, and Australia. So here is Castle Black. And what I can tell you about this is that it is the primary headquarters within the show. And there's several different families going on, several different places they live, and if you can keep up with it, I guess you can easily understand it. But when you look at the detail on this, it's just amazing. And on the back is the information about this exact piece. Did they have this in Vegas?
Just that one, yes. That one and the dragon.
Okay, and they're big, right? I mean,
yep. About this wide.
Okay.
You can't see it, but they can see it.
All right, there's that glamour shot again. So here is Jon Snow, and he is the main character in the Game of Thrones. And that is his wolf that, I can't remember what his name is.
Ghost. I think it's Ghost.
Ghost, that's right. His name is Ghost. All right. There's the front and back. And Tate Yoder, who used to work in our Eden Prairie office just doing accessories. She now has moved to Burbank. She does a lot of our licensed character art. She is the genius behind all these pieces.
Another fun fact about Jon Snow is that his cape was made from an IKEA rug. So they'll use whatever they can to make stuff.
So here's another picture of Drogon. There's the front and the back. And there's that one again. So here's Daenerys Targaryen. I think that's how you say her name. And she was the only daughter of King Targaryen. Again, I feel like I need to watch this to really get an understanding of it. But again, that base is large. It is not a small accessory. These are statement pieces, especially at those prices. And here is Ned Clark, and he is the head of the House of Stark, and he is the Lord of Winterfell. You know, we saw where he lived, as we showed the Winterfell castle. And this is the Night King, and he's the leader and first of the White Walkers. And again, when I saw this on the live, it's a lot bigger than you think it is. It's really nice. And the reason, you know, these are watermarked final images is because, you know, the licensor has not approved these final pieces. If we don't get an expression just right, we have to redo it. So we just got final approval on one of the castles that hadn't been done, but these accessories we're still waiting to just make sure they're exactly the way they should be. So it's revision, revision, revision. And here is Cersei and Jaime Lannister. They're just brother and sister. Their father, Lord Lannister, is the richest and most powerful in the Game of Thrones. And here is Winterfell. Now we just got approval on this, so we don't have to watermark this one anymore. But when Melinda turned this over, I mean, even up in the top, they finished it all off. If you were to look down on this piece, every little detail has been taken care of. And then there is the back of Winterfell. That is it. So,
welcome again to Millie's Hallmark. We are Showcase Displays, and we are excited to present another round of COVID-friendly display seminar to you. I'm Chris, this is Stefan.
Hello.
And first we're going to start out by describing what we've done with this display, and then we'll move on to a little demonstration. Hairless
No,
display kit.
Maybe they were going down a direction. So let's talk about this. Don was mentioning the new Halloween display. So we took out the old Halloween display with the skeleton and everything, and made a new one. So it's a little different because now it kind of closes it on the right side, so it's big. I made it pretty high, and I made there's two displays in there. Remember the little baby head display I had last time? It's in there, but they're removable. So in 2-3 months, I'll take these parts out and change them out with something else so that it changes. And then there's also in the corner a big feature, which right now is Pennywise. It's a Pennywise bust, life-size Pennywise bust. And there's a plexi in front of it with a film on the inside, so it looks a little foggy in there. Because if you remove the film, it's clear, you can see the end of the box, it's not as cool. So, and then there's like one of those flickering bulb in there. So take a look at that, and then in a couple of months we'll put something else in the feature there, and maybe we'll put Chris in there. You could like jump scare people. You know?
Couldn't afford it.
And then you know, there's a boat coming for Halloween. I can't remember what's called, it's a tugboat or whatever. Anyways, it's a big piece, and it's got a slime tree and everything, and it's got an accessory. So I decided to do kind of a slimy green kind of river. And I like to try new products, so I was Googling, it's like, let's Google slime.
Slime.
And I found this product to prevent and repair flat tires. All right? Apparently, you shoot that into your tire before it's got a flat, okay? Put that in all your 4 tires, and if you do get a puncture, this will automatically get sucked in to the hole, and it will seal it. I've never tried this, but
It will work to some degree.
I guess it would work just for a while. It depends how big the puncture is. But when I looked at it, I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. It's green, it's got these black specks in there. So I poured one of these on the display, because it's a pretty big, it's about a 3 or 4 foot river. And it actually worked pretty good. The only problem is it doesn't really dry. So it remains sticky kind of forever, which is good here because then it prevents people, if you touch it, you're not supposed to touch the displays. If you touch it, you pay the price.
We can identify you immediately.
You'll glow green. But the only thing I would say is whatever piece we're going to put on, we're going to put a little pad underneath so that it's not sitting straight on this, or I believe it will get permanently attached to it, which, in my home display I don't sometimes care, but here we don't want pieces to be attached to the display forever. So take a look when you have a chance. And then we put some green LED bulbs, the little LED bulbs or little lights that we sell on the other side there, under the tunnel so that you could see it lit up all green. So, and then Don, of course, put everything in a motion sensor like we had before, but he changed the soundtrack because we used to have this kind of this iPad, and the lightning. So now you put like the Haunted Mansion soundtrack and some Elvira stuff, just to go in theme with new stuff. So
very cool. I wonder if you could put something in that, the way you do with your, how you cut the snow with like white paint. I wonder if you could put something in that, like to solidify it.
Maybe, yes, to kind of mix it up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you touch it, there's actually no residue on your finger, but it's kind of squishy. Yeah, it's squishy. So, or if you need a tire prevention, this is it. so I don't know what I'll do with this, but
I don't know. Should come in handy when we do a Ghostbusters theme.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. So Chris got our LED panel here. So the LED panels, this one anyways, comes as a set of 2. Not too expensive. I think it was $119 for 2. So, $60 or so for one. The only thing I wish, and it doesn't come with a cord, so you have to buy the cord. Chris, if you don't mind digging up the cord in the box, I got an extra one. It's super easy to plug in. I mean, you don't need an electrician for this. Yeah, that's it. You buy these at the hardware store or Amazon, and basically you buy the electric cords that has the wires with, just exposed like this. And I took the one with an on-off switch because then it's a bit easier to use than having to unplug it. And then, Chris, if you don't mind, let's show the underside of that thing. Super easy to plug in. Again, these are meant to be in replacement of these lights.
So it's got a built-in ballast here.
We can go ahead and deplastify this thing.
So it looks like all you need to supply is the wire. And there's probably just like 2 exposed wires, and you just get a
It's
nut.
actually a push button thing. You push a
Oh,
button,
okay, just
put it in there, and when you
got it.
release the button, it squeezes the wire. It's super simple. It takes 2 seconds to plug in. It doesn't even matter which wire you plug where. One way will blow up, the other way will work. No. So you unscrew that thing, you plug it in there, and you're done. The only thing I wish was that box would be separate, as opposed to attached to the panel.
Right.
I don't think it's detachable, Chris. But I think we're gonna really break it if we take it off.
I don't know, do you want to waste $60?
No, not at the front end of the class.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't do.
I suspect that if you really wanted to, you could get it off of there.
Or there could be other brands. I mean, I
Right.
took this one because this one is a 4,000 lumens, but it's got a bit more of a warm glow than the 5,000s. The 5,000 lumens are brighter, but they're very white bright again. So, but it could be an interesting thing to try. So what we're going to do is simply build that into the display. So the plan is, Chris is going to work on the infrastructure, which is the layers where this is built into it. So he's going to take a piece of foam, and he's going to cut out just a little piece so that can fall into the display. and then the rest will be supported by the piece of foam. So we're going to do that. Now, let's plug it in, Chris.
We've
Take
got
a look at this.
this fascia, so we're going to make the infrastructure 4 inches thick.
Yes, because what's going to happen is we're going to have a piece of 2-inch foam underneath, right? So that box is, it's got space. Then we're going to have that. Now, unfortunately, this thing is 2x4, so I can't, I'd have to do a bigger display, but, so we're going to put a piece of foam on top of it. So to hide this, we're going to use a trim like that, but we could easily put foam instead if we wanted to, but I thought we'd make it kind of pretty. So, but let's plug it in so I can show you what the LED panel looks like. Put on your goggles, guys. No, just kidding. Your nuclear goggles. So, as you can see, it lights up pretty good. The nice thing about it is that it's very uniform lighting. If you look at the fluorescent above you, you can see those 2 tubes, right? I mean, you can, or 3, or some of them just one. So it's the way it is. These are very, very uniform lighting. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Vanna.
Now, if you put a piece of foam that doesn't have film on it, it will actually kind of glow through it, okay? Which in a way could be kind of cool, but I'm not looking for that because I want to build elevation, and if you put another piece of foam on top, it's not going to go show through.
Right.
So what we're going to do, as simple as it can be, is take a piece of foam.
Here, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way. And we're going to keep the silver film underneath. Can you
What you need?
dig out the black construction paper? That's the thing. Okay. Okay, so I haven't tried this, but my assumption is that if we keep the silver piece of film on, we probably won't need that paper, but I brought it just in case. But I need to, let's see, I've got another one. Let's use this one. Silver, but not the white. It's blocking it pretty good, right?
Yeah, most of
Yeah.
it. You can still see it a little bit.
A little bit. But I did bring this construction paper if we really wanted to block it, but I don't think we'll need it. So, Chris, for you, I have this piece, which can go at the bottom, because we don't care about the film.
Right.
All right. And then you just need to cut that thing. Then he's going to put that on top. That's going to make it about 4.5. So
Okay.
it's going to be a little taller than the trim. Or we could use a 1-inch piece of foam, and it's going to be a little
For the top or the bottom?
for the top of this.
Okay.
Because I think underneath we need to
Let's
use.
see what the 1-inch looks like.
Yeah.
If the
So it'd be a little bit sunk into the trim,
Yeah.
but my piece would sit on top, right?
Right.
It would just kind of. So maybe it is better to use a 1-inch. Underneath, I think we have to use 2-inch because I think it's 1.5 inches.
An inch and a quarter or whatever.
Yeah, it's too tall. So let's use this piece underneath, and we just need to cut out for the box. And then what I'm going to do, if we can try to do it at the same time, maybe not, is build it up. And then we're going to see how high the light can be shown through the hole that we go up. But if I'm not mistaken, we can probably go a good 10 to 12 inches and it's still going to show through the house as long as the whole of the house is aligned with, the whole other thing. So, let's do that. Do you want the bow cutter or what do we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go have it do it. Plug you in.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense so far on what we're trying to do? So the idea, obviously, is you would have a display that once you plug it in and you have the holes in the right place, everything's lit up. You can change the color with the gel filters, but as usual, if you have any pieces that have a transformer, no go. Same thing with the Etherdyne system. You can't replace that. Although Etherdyne could light up the LEDs, but that would have to be wired. So that's our plan. So I've got some pieces of foam here, and I'm going to build some elevations. Some of you were here for the class back in November of, not last year, but the year before, if you remember that lighting box we did. But, that box was like, I don't know, 8 inches thick, and it was only about 24 by 18, but since then, unless I didn't look very carefully last time, I'm not sure that these existed. So this is a really nice change. Good. Yeah. Sit.
Groovy.
Sit. Flip that around. You want to plug in the back. That's okay. Okay, so now the transformer for this is just hanging, hidden in there. And then let's try a 1-inch piece of foam. We're gonna have to
Peel the.
and then you want to put a trim in front to see what it looks like? It's actually kind of cool if it's
I
sunk
think
in.
it'll be okay if it's sunk in.
Yeah, because my piece, the top piece will sit on top. So this is what we're gonna use in front, just to make it, unless you think it's gonna be a problem with.
No, I think it'll look good.
Okay. Kind of a decorative trim, but you wouldn't have to do that. You could take, larger pieces of foam or put a strip of foam in the front and carve it up. But since I had this trim already, we figured let's make it a little fancy. All right. So Chris's layer here can have houses on it. So I'm going to leave some spots on there, a couple of spots for houses, right on the 1-inch level.
You can't see that, right?
No, but we're gonna have to peel this.
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, just the top version. I mean the top film. But I think if it shows through, then we can use construction paper. But let's give it a shot. And I'm gonna start designing this piece here. All right.
So you want to leave the silver.
Yes, because I'm hoping that's
And then
what's
we'll
gonna
just, like,
block the light.
Where we want light to show through, we'll just cut little
Yeah.
holes in it.
Yeah, we'll do it. I guess we'll do the rest of it and figure out where
And
they
figure
go.
out where the holes go.
Yeah, and then we can just glue. I don't think my piece, and when I say my piece, the top piece needs to be glued to the bottom piece. It can just sit into,
Right.
because I could also paint the trim later, if I want to.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to. Okay, let's start with that. Done. I'm gonna borrow the bow cutter, if you don't mind. Thank you, sir.
Not on.
Where do you get the cutter from?
This cutter,
That's that.
right here. They should have it here. Hot Wire Foam Factory Company. They make the small handheld ones that we're going to use a little later. But yeah, the Hot Wire Foam Factory, they sell a 2-foot bow or a 4-foot one that you can use in a 2-foot format. So they are very handy. So,
Need a hand?
I think I'm good. I just want to cut two at the same time.
Okay.
This way I've got the template going. Cut this real quick. Make sure I don't cut the LED panel.
You might hit the table.
I've done that before. Cut that here. And by the way, you don't need to go up and down like I do. I just feel like I'm doing something when I'm going up and down, but actually it does help a little bit with kind of self-cleaning the wire a little bit, because if you're always at the same spot, it seems to take longer and longer. I think you're just accumulating all the residue. Look, it is. Approaching Chris's fingers. Ah! You know which finger you'll show me if I do that. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, Chris is going to he's working on his 1-inch piece right now. He's measuring, because he's got to cut some 45 degrees on that molding because we want to do the sides. We don't want to do just the front. So he's going to cut some 45 degrees so that we can have a nice kind of surround except for the back. So he brought his saw. He was going to bring his big electric. Yeah, maybe not. Tammy won't like it.
They won't like it either.
Splash zone. Excellent.
Am I in your way?
No. Do your thing. Let's make sure you got room to do your stuff here. Okay. So while Chris is cutting this at 45 degrees, I've got my 1-inch piece of foam. It's got the film underneath, and you can see that it's blocking the light pretty well. Now this is going to be the next layer up over here. Just the one, because this one I'm going to cut further. So now we can put a house here, a house there, do a little hole for the light to go through. But we'll do the holes at the end when we're like, yeah, this is where it goes. Do you need to hold anything, Chris?
Nope.
Okay. And there he goes. Now I'm going to make some more elevation. So right now we're only at 3 inches above the panel. So it's pretty, pretty low. So we're going to keep building it up. I already cut this one the same way, so I can keep cutting it. So, look at this. Not quite yet. Look at this. Fits like a glove. Like a glove. Okay, so now I have these two spots. I want to kind of do a little bit of elevation. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little crafty here, I think. Let's see here.
You want me to go all the way around or just like 3 sides?
3 sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't do the back. We've got the wire coming in the back, but it's kind of cool because you only have 1 wire.
You can go ahead, man.
Okay.
I'm just lining up for the next kid.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and do another display pad over here, and probably one on this side here.
Did I understand that this video is online?
This video is online, yes, on YouTube. If you search for showcase displays, I think Millie's also has a link to it. You'll see videos from, I believe, 6 or 7 classes. We started doing this when we had to limit the capacity in here. So we've got maybe 7 or, yes, Sarah's been filming this. And it takes about a week or 2 for them to edit a little bit, cut out the stuff, and then it gets posted online. So, yeah. So it's kind of nice. People can see it. We get about 500 views up to maybe 800. Like the first one we did probably is up to 800 right now. So it's kind of nice because it means people from around the country are seeing them. So not just the local folks, but it is a bit disruptive though if we have a full class in here to try to film this at the same time. So plus Millie's want people to come in here, right? So so you've got exclusivity because you live local, right? Well, sort of local. Yes. Okay, so I got sidetracked, Chris. See, I don't want to cut too much of this layer because this is only 2 inch, right? So if I put a house here and I have another house behind it that's just 2 inch higher, it's not a whole lot of elevation. So I'm just going to do a little pad, and then on the next layer I'll remove some more. All right. You don't need this foam sheet, right?
I sure don't.
Okay.
I'm just using this one to measure.
Now, by the way, I did a trade-in of the old Halloween display. It's in my garage. It's taking a lot of room. Okay. If anybody's interested, I'm going to restore it, meaning I'm going to repaint it and everything. I asked Addie, I said, Addie, you gotta have a new Halloween display. She said, no, I can't. You know, it's 14 feet. It's an L shape, right? So it's 8 feet by 14 feet, but it is in 3 sections. So you could get less if you want. But if nobody local wants it, oh no, I mean that's how I brought it home, right? I mean, I just rented a van for a day, and that was pretty easy. But anyways, if I don't find anyone local who wants it, I will cut it in pieces and sell it on eBay in 4-foot sections. So, but I just wanted to let you know in case somebody's interested. But it is a big of a beast. But but email me if you know. All right, so let's do this. Doing okay, Chris?
I think so.
All right. You guys haven't been here before, right?
Right.
No.
You have.
Oh, Daddy, you've been here. Well, you tried to pull.
Behind us.
Are you guys collectors right now? Do you collect villages, or yeah? Which series? Is it more than one, and just which one?
Christmas Village.
Okay, like Snow Village and okay. Okay. And are you guys local here?
Yes,
Okay, you live.
kind of sort of.
Okay.
We're from Alaska, but we were stuck since COVID.
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the classes and all the displays we have over there. And now we have to figure out something for Game of Thrones because we don't have a display for that. But it's not coming till like October, November, so we got some time.
You can watch the series.
Right. You
Yeah.
educate yourself on Game of Thrones, or are you a fan?
But I never watched the series, not because I didn't want to, but we were already caught up with other series, and we didn't want to add another 10 season of something. But now I'm kind of interested, and I was reading some fast facts about it, and so it's kind of interesting. But I'm going to have to take some time and learn about it. Have you watched it?
No, but I know enough about it that when Lisa said that those two were just brother and sister, I knew that it's an exaggeration to say they're just brother and sister.
Okay. Chris knows more.
I gotta read it.
And I think it started with books, if I'm not mistaken.
It did.
Yeah.
But I think the books aren't done yet, but they finished the
Is it a movie?
the show, yeah.
So was that the show where there's a Starbucks coffee cup and?
Yep. In the final season, I think.
Yeah. It actually made the final thing, right?
Yeah. Did you cut some rubber or something?
I don't think, did I cut something?
It smells something.
I didn't do it.
Alright.
All right, I'm gonna cut this. Okay.
This has a little indent where the OG is. So what I'm actually going to do is I think that I'm just going to glue the base of this to the 2-inch piece of foam that we have on the bottom.
Okay.
And then we can lift the panel and the 1-inch piece out if we need to.
Okay.
Is the glue gun hot?
Yep, it should be, and I have a new stick too.
Okay.
Down there. Okay. When we did the first version of this, we actually used a garland around the base, lit garland, which was actually pretty cool too. That's another idea to kind of dress up the base of a display, because I don't like to have 4 inches of foam, and of course you can't carve this panel, so it's kind of in the way. Working out.
Do you have a sanding block with you, buddy?
I do. It's not new. I can't believe it. Chris will enjoy the 3-foot glue stick. Always fun to work with in the first few minutes.
I may cut some miters into it.
Yeah. Have you guys in the back been here before? No? Are you enjoying the class? I mean, is this helpful a little bit?
Yes.
And you
We live
get,
in New Mexico, so
Oh.
I watch all the videos, so I'm kind of bummed that you're not going to do them anymore.
well, maybe Dawn with a few bribes might. I think the videos are pretty cool because a lot of people like to kind of see again certain parts of a class, you know,
Yeah.
because we kind of go through stuff sometimes maybe a little quick. But well, thank you for coming over. Are you guys collectors as well, or?
Yeah, I watched all 7 of your videos and I made a 14-foot
Oh.
shape kind of thing. for
Well,
our
I've got
company.
one for you.
I already
Texted our friend.
our friend who's local, who comes here all the time. I already
Oh, that's
he's a big
great.
Halloween person, so I already texted her.
Halloween. Oh, good.
Charlie.
All right. Oh. The trim is pretty good, right? Kind of a nice little. And they sell these trims. I am trying to remember where I got the trim.
No, I thought you got it online.
I did. This place sells. I mean, you wouldn't believe the number of trims they have, and it could be 1 inch, 2, 4, 8, different designs. I mean, some of them are kind of Christmassy too, a bit, you know. So you can find, and they sell it in 8-foot spans, and the minimum order is not huge. I mean, I think it was like 3 or 4. Cut that thing. So just a different way to do things. Okay. So now we are at 7 inches above the LED panel. I got 1 inch there, 6 inch on top. So we're starting to gain some height. And I'm gonna do a couple more, just to see how high we can get.
Okay.
And in this light, it may not be too obvious, but we should be able to see how it's going. So, can we do it?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have you do some holes
Okay.
with the straight knife. So let's do one over here. Don't need to make them too small, but at the same time not too big, because then you're limiting where you can put your. Do one right here.
As a note, if you were doing this at home, I'm not sure that if we've known we were going to do this, we would have chosen this particular one because it's got these little balls on the end, so you would have to be more careful about how you lined those up.
Right.
Yeah, so
Um,
you didn't match the.
And I would also probably take a nail gun and just like tack them together to keep the edges tight.
Mm-hmm.
But for display
For
purposes, this will be
demonstration,
fine.
demonstration purposes. Okay, so you can start. Oh, let's do one up here.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do those, I'll work on the rest of the elevations. And then it's up to you if you want to just do those 2 and then trace it on the next level down, so you don't have to go through the whole thing. But I mean, I do have the long knife too, but
Yeah.
you
Where's
probably
the?
don't want to cut straight over the LED panel. So, I'm not sure that would be advised. But,
Agreed.
yeah. Okay, so let me do a couple more levels here. I can probably use some of my scraps. Many times when you take something out, you turn it around and suddenly you have a nice elevation. And then instead of throwing it out, you're kind of recycling as you go. So I try to be, I mean, naturally you're gonna have the right size because you're cutting out here enough to put a house there, which means that the mirror image or the negative image of it is going to be big enough to put a house. So I can use that up here, nice and straight, and you've got the factory cut edge there, so it just lines up nicely. And then just for fun, we're going to go one more maybe here, so that we are close to 10 inches of height. So I've got another one here. There. All right, and then we can carve it with some more design into it. Will be good. Okay, now let's see here. Let's do a little bit of staircase action as usual, right, Addie?
Right.
So let's cut this here. And do you want to demonstrate your tool? I brought it today.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen one in so long.
I've got one that's not that. The one I brought is used before, but I also have a brand new one. I figured one day it'll be worth a fortune. So this, try not to snap that thing.
It's okay if this hole is a little bit bigger than the one that's above it.
Better to make them big.
I'm just gonna cover it with that anyway, so.
Yeah, I think you want to make sure that the hole doesn't get smaller and smaller, because then you're going to have less slight.
Right.
So just go bigger, it's fine, it should be. And again, we can, and then if I'm going to paint this, maybe not here, but then that's another, it's going to hide any light that might be showing through, but I don't think there's going to be any light showing through.
Right.
Yeah. Got this here. I'm going to let Chris demonstrate his stair cutter. Oh!
Well, did it disassemble itself?
Maybe Chris won't demonstrate his stair cutter.
We just need a flat-headed screwdriver.
Okay, all right, but we need the blade too.
It's on the floor.
It is? Oh, I see it. That's how you take it apart.
That's how they bust it apart.
No, it looks fine.
Okay,
Put it together.
so,
Just came apart.
okay, Sarah, do you know if we have a screwdriver?
Any kind?
Flathead.
Regular.
The other side.
Oh. He built the tool, so he knows it. I'm gonna glue these two together. And I'm gonna actually snap this.
I knew it, he was gonna do that.
It's gonna break anyways, so I'm just gonna, it'll be nice to have this little canyon in between anyways. Go ahead. Chris. There you go. Just quick, guys. I don't know how many lumens the other one was, but we were like,
It was really bright.
dang! I think it was like 10,000. We were like, okay.
Well, the higher you go, the more light you'll need.
Yes, the higher you go, the more faded the light will become. But now, like I said before, you can buy these panels in 2x2s, for example. Oh, thank you. Or 1x4. So if you wanted to, you could have a panel here that lights up the first two or three rows, then another panel higher up that lights up the next ones. So right now I wanted to keep it simple and just to see if this works well enough, because it's less design. But yes, you could do it in multiple panels. All right, so this I'm going to glue together, and so far so good. You want to try to cut it? Well, I'm going to let you fix your. So this is happening, and then I think we've got another layer. Thank you.
I didn't know were you just gonna...
Yeah, I'll do a couple more, but you can
Yeah,
do
that's
the
fine.
demonstrate that if you want. So Chris is going to
Are
reattach
these
this.
glued together? Yes.
Yes. So Chris, wow, a long time ago. I don't know how long that
It's
is.
gotta be 4 or 5 years now. that
Yeah, made a whole bunch of these.
We met up at, I think, California Pizza Kitchen to discuss ideas,
Yes.
and this was one of the
This is one of them.
brainchildren.
I still use mine.
Yeah, he used a gauge of wire that's thick enough to shape with pliers at very good 90-degree angles. Attached it to this little wooden thing, and then we just plug it into the hot wire foam factory thing, the Pro Power tool one. It does kind of sometimes. My experience is that it did trip the power on it once in a while.
Especially if you try to crank this thing all the way up.
Right.
Right.
So,
Gotta back off.
I may not make it through this. All right, so he's going to demonstrate that. Yeah, you may want to kind of sell it to Hotwire. You know,
Yeah.
little side deal there going. Because I think the ideal setup would be to have our own power source instead of theirs. But
Yeah, we were originally gonna get some transformers.
yeah,
and
so it's pretty cool because
that's fine.
it's a
That's where I wanted that.
it's a quick way to do it. All right, guys. So he's gonna do that, which is gonna go here. A little staircase there. I think I'm gonna go here. Take these two here. One here. Okay, that'll work. So I'm gonna do another one here.
I think this might be the first one I ever built.
Really?
Yeah, because you gave me an old knife that I stripped the cord off of
To take it.
as an experiment.
It's the
yeah.
prototype. The Etherdyne. Here, and then we're gonna have one up here at the highest point. Let's see if our light shows through. And there goes Chris. Do we need to do a little shave first?
Yeah, I need to put that down. Is this on?
Yes, should be on. I just turned it on. So
I'm just gonna.
not on. That usually does the trick. That's working. Okay, then I'm gonna take out. So you guys were asking about the tools earlier. These are the small handheld tools, same company. They sell them in kits. You can see them on the other side. Usually you want to get a kit as a starter kit, only because one tool, it's hard to do a lot of things with one tool. A straight knife is nice, one where you can shape the wire is nice, and then the sculpting tool is nice, and then you've got your power, and then you can do a lot of display work. The bow cutter, not many people have that because I think you have to do a lot of display work to be worth it, where it's a little hard to handle. But you can do the same thing with these. It's just going to take you longer. Trying to cut these long things takes a lot longer than if you have the bow cutter. But other than that, you could do it with the straight knife. So Chris is doing
Stairs.
stairs just by cutting like that. It's like magic. Done?
Done.
Dang. Okay. Well, do these holes if you don't mind.
Yeah.
This, and then do this one, and then you can try out some houses on it.
Yeah.
See.
Are we gonna try to carve this a little bit, or is this
Yeah.
gonna?
No, we can. I mean, if we have time a little bit, we can carve it up. And my goal was to kind of eventually finish it just like the one that's down there, kind of all carved with stairs and trees. But if we don't have time here, I'll do it off-site and bring it back. I have a lot of things to bring back. Everything we did in film classes, basically. Since
I bet that Candace would really like for you to get rid of a lot of that stuff.
yeah, my wife is like the garage. We can't see. I have like an old car in the garage, a Chevy '72. You can barely see it because it's got the Halloween display on top of it. All the other displays from the class, the Crayola thing, and everything. So it's getting a little crazy. Pardon?
Can you put that on your Chevy?
I put that on the Chevy. Well, the Chevy is more of a retirement project. I mean, it's, you know, it needs a lot of work. But
but it's still.
yeah, but it's just foam. It's just foam. So yeah, I do need to do a lot of garage action there. But
It's a Chevelle.
yeah, the Chevelle '72. I bought it in Florida in 1991 for $900. And a
Does it
week
run?
later.
Does it work?
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah, and I drove it across the country like 4 times.
It doesn't have AC though, right?
It doesn't have AC. I mean, it does, but it doesn't work. So it's a little rough. But yeah, like a week after I bought it, I was at a gas station. Some guy says, "I'll give you $3,000 for it right now." I'm like, oh no, I'll keep it. Sold. No. So now it's really old.
I'm an old car.
Where was this? This one goes over here,
Yes, over here, and then this a little bit. Yeah, enough room for the.
like there.
Yeah, right there. So that. And that.
Now the accessories, you just have to plug them in, huh?
The accessory, yes. So what I would do, so you see the holes that Chris did, right? On the layer below that, not that layer, but the layer below that, you could dig a tunnel on that piece of foam. In fact, we could do one. So that if you put, say, a lamppost here, you send your wires in there and you send them to the back so that they can plug in. But you don't want to do it here because then the light is going to show behind your house. So I would do it on the layer underneath it, if that makes sense. Thank you, Chris. So we have one more, 2 more layers to go through, and then we're going to be able to start. I'm going to start carving this here, since this is its own piece. See if I can plug myself into a different power supply here. You're trying to achieve. All right. Sorry, Chris, I think you might be able to get through the hole.
How many pieces is that Halloween display?
How many pieces? It's in 4 pieces. So the wall over there, facing the street, is 1 piece, up to Pennywise. From Pennywise to 8 foot down, because 8 foot is the length of a foam sheet, is 1 sheet. Then I've got another, I think it's a 5 foot section, and then a 2 foot section this way. So, but yeah, it's in 4 pieces. The top, the really high top above Pennywise is removable, so that I can just take it off, slide off the plexi, and change the feature in there. So next time, I don't think we've decided yet, but it's going to be another kind of Halloween related thing. Maybe Chucky. I do have a nice Chucky doll that might go in there, or Annabelle or something like that.
There you go.
So yeah.
Talking.
Yes. So that'll be fun. So now I'm going to do some quick carving on that. Yes, we will. Oh, we do have a garbage bin. We do have a garbage bag, but it's over there.
Yeah, as I said. What's supposed to happen?
Did you actually plan out that Halloween display, or did you just start and it evolved as you went along?
Not a whole lot of planning, because I like to kind of improvise as I go, but there's some elements of it that I had to plan.
Right.
So like the Pennywise thing, I knew I wanted to be at least 2 foot by 2 foot, big enough to put something in there. And I knew I wanted a water feature, and then I wanted to do that big canyon thing. You'll see there's a big canyon with 3 bridges. I wanted to do that, but other than that, no, it was kind of like as I go, because you know, the display here in the store will change all the time, right? I mean, next year the pieces will be different, so make it flexible. When we had the train, of course, I kind of had a specific feature for that, but so yeah, kind of as I went.
It goes about like these classes do.
Yeah, pretty much. We figure out the parking lot. No, we do plan a bit better, but we do need to get together. Chris and I usually have some brainstorming sessions. We're a little behind in those.
Yeah, COVID has limited our team think time.
Wow. You should show it.
The Pennywise Bus is pretty cool. There's only 30 made ever, and this is number 19 of 30. It's a collector in Glendale that had it, but he happened to have a full body Pennywise, like the entire thing, life size. I mean, you should see that thing, it looks like the movie. So he didn't want to have the bust as well as that, so he made me a good deal on it, and I grabbed it, and we'll be using it in my studio when it's not here.
Aren't you sell it to Don?
Pardon?
Is it Don buying it?
Is it what?
Is it Don buying it?
Is Don
Pennywise?
gonna buy it?
No. Don, he's got it on loan. I'm just loaning it to him. No.
Oh.
Yeah. No, this is that one's mine. He was afraid people asked to buy it, but
Surprised nobody has.
come back, it's gone.
Yeah.
So let's try some houses.
Yeah.
Now this is white, so it's gonna. Can you see it?
Not really.
I can see it through the side there.
I can see it on the side, yes, but not on the
Maybe
building.
let's use the construction paper and black out a little bit to simulate dimmer lights in here.
Treacherous over here.
Yes. Black out a bit. So if you simulate some dimmer lights in here, I mean, can you see it? Is it lit up or
Not ours, no.
it's not?
Put down below.
Try it down here.
I can see it when it's up there.
Yeah. It's a little bit better, yeah. Why
So-
not the other one?
Look in there, Chris.
Yeah, you can see that one too.
It's not as bright as a map.
It looks like they have like one candle on in there.
Probably could afford
Somebody's reading.
So somebody's reading.
That one is really good. Yeah, where Chris is, that one was really good. Even without the black paper, you can
Maybe
see
the
it.
further away you get.
But the other two, no.
Put another sheet in there.
So that one is at 3 inch, this one's at 5 inch.
Now you can see that.
Now you can see a little bit, yes.
But how are you gonna hide the black paper?
Well, we're just gonna dim the lights. That's what we're gonna do. Done, turn the lights on.
Put it in ether dyeing sheet.
Yeah, that's right. You need the wireless power.
Yeah.
So that tells us that maybe once we start getting at 7 inch and above, it starts to be a little rough, unless we could kind of boost the light somehow in there.
I was thinking like if you put, like if you had like
Some reflective.
some reflective like mirror material or something, it might,
Inside
you
the
might
hole?
get more of it all the way up. there.
Right. Because it is pretty bright.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to look down there for any extended period of time.
Yeah, it's. So I don't know. It might be better to have a 1 foot panel, and then have another one
A little higher
a
up.
little higher and go like that. Is it simpler than just normal displays? I don't know, because you still have to do holes, but you don't have to worry about the cords, except for accessories. So I don't know. It's an idea.
Yeah, I like
Good
it.
idea.
Yeah.
So
I think and you could take this for what it's worth. I think what we did when we did the one out there was there was no base sheet. So like at the very bottom, it was like completely open.
I think you're right. Yeah, we did put some loose snow. I think to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could. You want to? Let's try.
Let's experiment with making the holes a little bigger.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Try to like basically like
Yeah.
pyramid up a little bit.
That's true.
Put some foil in there.
Yeah, you got some aluminum foil?
Iffy as you get higher. And then the little gel filters. Do we have them around? Yeah.
Let's put a layer back on.
Well, let's try it over there so they can really hopefully see it.
Yeah.
So let's make it. Let's try a different color. Let's try blue. It's a little small, but I don't know if you can see it.
Like a
Probably.
little bit blue on the side
It's
there.
blue
yeah.
now.
So, anyways, so I don't know, but we could do the idea that we were talking about, which is to use it straight on the panel with less elevations, and then use snow. Because when we did it with that way, the snow was kind of glowing.
Mhm.
It's
Let's do it.
pretty cool. Let's do it. Okay.
Let's just take the bottom layer all the way off.
Yeah. Thank you. That. And should I grab some snow?
Sure.
I'll grab some snow. Oh, no. Oh, jeez.
It landed perfect.
They're pretty.
Did it?
Right flat on the back.
The other one, the pad.
Yeah.
The house, they're pretty bright.
Very bright.
Just like a bulb. And you
But see, the
know,
bulbs are
and
so
you know
close
those,
to it.
just plugs, right?
Good kind of.
Just
I've
plugs.
done
like-
that.
They're pretty bright.
Yeah, me.
You
I
know? Use the filter. Yeah,
Cause I
think
use
they're
them.
designed to land on the corner, aren't they?
Right,
Or the
exactly.
chimney.
Yeah.
This one's for those with the surface.
Like buttered bread, right?
That's
Like-
right.
it's like-
Yeah.
Right.
They sell them here.
I don't know what he did with the little
They're-
filters.
Online, wasn't it?
It's like.
He may have taken them with him.
It's like a
I
single
think he
bulb
did.
with a big wire and they plug into like a hub.
Oh, I have that.
And you can put two of them. And he was putting it in the back of the car. You know, like-
Do you throw it in the box on top down there?
And they're pretty bright.
Kind of bright.
Because I
So it
use
looks
them.
like.
On the left-hand side. No, it's something else.
So,
Yeah, yeah. So
man,
mine
he
look like.
probably
How'd you go
learned.
through the process to get it to
Well,
light?
I think you took it over
The house survived.
He did take him with him.
Were you searching the whole time?
Yeah.
I was packaging them up. Oh, I see, okay.
Anything?
No,
No.
it's kind of got like a ombre fade of blue.
Hey, you know what we, oh, no, I was
Try the
gonna,
red.
Stefan, you know those wireless the pads? Those lights are really, really bright, huh?
Yeah, they are. yeah.
And it's amazing that you would just set it down and it would light up the whole building.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
you know those just plugs lights?
Mhm.
They're equally bright.
Yeah, they are.
'Cause I
Yep.
use them in some buildings.
Yeah, the white ones, they're just, I mean, they're really, really bright. Does it work?
I can't tell.
Yeah, it has a red
It's
haze
kinda-
to it.
Yeah, it's kind of faded.
You can also stack filters together, you know, if you wanted to, but I was wondering if we could raise raise the panel up to the edge, but well, we could jack it up on. Would that help for them to see it? If we use this and this, and then put that
Panel?
underneath the whole thing, so that the panel.
This is glued to the bottom line.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, we can lift it up if you want.
But let's put some snow. Apparently, we ran out of fresh fallen snow. So
Okay.
we've got.
We got real plastic snow.
Yes.
Let's put a couple of buildings on then.
Yeah, I just don't think, I don't know if these guys are gonna be able to see this, but
Oh, the big one.
I do like that look though.
Do those panels come in different color lights?
Not that I have seen. So far, I've only seen them in bright white or warm white. So that's why we'd have to use some kind of filters on top to change the color. Now, I didn't search extensively, maybe I'm wrong, but so far that's all I saw on there. So you can't see it bright because of this trim, but I do like this look of the glowing, because the snow tones it down a little bit. Otherwise, it's a little bright. Now they are also dimmable. So if you attach them to a cord that has a dimmer, then you could dim it. But I didn't really see a use for that. But if you're going to use it in
Directly on there.
directly
Yeah,
on there, a
for
dimmer
sure.
might be a cool thing. But so 12:20. So I think we're gonna shut it. But we'll see if that does anything. I'm gonna try to finish this display, another display, and then bring it back so we could, just kind of give it away, but with the trim attached. So, but maybe paint it. I don't know. Would you paint the trim or?
Yeah.
You probably.
Okay. So yeah, that'll be fun. So I think some of the next classes that at least we talked about a little bit is we would like to do something around water, but it's typically not something you can start and finish the same class depending on what we're doing. I don't know. Do you know the class dates? Anybody knows the class
I
date?
think it's the 22nd.
22nd of May?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think there's no class in June, so it's going to be 22nd of May, and then it goes to July. So
That's Tony's birthday.
we'll see. Hopefully, oh, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's also
wow.
graduation day.
Oh, it's the big day. Oh, so you won't be here.
Oh, 22nd. 22nd?
22nd of May.
I don't think I'll be
I
here.
think it's the
either.
weekend before Memorial Day, I assume. And then you and I will get together and
Yeah.
plan out the rest of the year. So so we'll see what happens. Any questions?
Comment.
Yes.
Worst case scenario on this, if you don't have enough light on top, you can always stick your bulbs in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You don't have to
exactly.
waste all the rest of it.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, no, I think there's something, I kind of like this glow part of it, so maybe we'll do something. a
And like we,
variation.
were, like we were saying, it works really cool with uplighting too.
Yeah,
So you may even be able to, like, if you were to cut the holes at the right spots, you could try to uplight pieces with like small holes, almost like little pinholes,
oh, yeah, yeah.
and then just like light them with a cord.
Right, right. Get accent lighting kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. Yeah, because I had seen.
Let's see what it looks like with like trees.
You can
Sure.
do your reverse cutting too, so it fans out as it comes out of the hole
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for your uplight.
So, yeah, so it's. Do some uplighting. Yeah, obviously, if we were in a darker setting, I'm sure it'd glow a lot more than this, but
Yeah.
we're not going to do that.
Cool.
All right, guys, do you want to finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in to perhaps our final episode of Showcase COVID. We are Showcase Displays on behalf of Millie's Hallmark. Thank you. If you have any questions, please call the store at 480-893-3777.